Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 4. In this time, we will presentation about food and drink in Britain. The member of our group is, the first is Alvy Mubarok, the second one is me, Tabdilah Marjan Wafda, and the third one is Putri Madinatul. So, and the first presentation is Putri Madinatul. So, Putri, time is yours.
Okay, for the first is introduction. In the 1840 and 1850 is Ireland suffered a famine. The country lost 20 until 25% of their population. Over a million people died, with many more forced to emigrate, often dying on their way or when they got to their destination. The interesting things about this period is that Ireland was actually a net food exporter. So while all these people were dying or living, there was plenty of food in the country. But a combination of laissez-faire politic, poor, poor crop and land management, and a lack of willingness to care about and address two problems allow it to happen. Indeed, this pattern has been maintained worldwide to today, with many countries with large-scale malnourishment or recurrent famines often being net food exporters at the same time. So, despite all our technological progress over the last 170 years, nothing much has changed. It will same in our approach to food and famines, even when they are long gone, have repercussions down the generation, and their parents' attitude toward food, having enough to eat, eating what you're present with, are, are symptomatic of that, and their experience of the 17th century world wars has only compounded this attitude. As children, they were cultivated to be grateful to have food, and we were often given too much food. In a way, this was done to show there was enough food, and once it was present to you, you were obligated to eat it. You definitely couldn't be seen to be wasting food, and then it was eaten so quickly or even on the go that there was little real time to savor and enjoy it, feel its impact on our bodies, or take the time to connect with ourselves and each other during the process. So, attitude to food. People will generally describe their impression of British food as bland, soggy, overcooked, and visually unappealing. The critics are missing out on a country with a lot of culinary potential. The United Kingdom invented and continues to produce some of the world's most popular cheese, high-quality meat such as Angus beef, heavenly strawberries, punchy rhubarb, and beautifully balanced chocolate. Give a breed a piece of Hershey and watch their reaction to the weirdly acrid aftertaste that Americans are used to, which tastes like an acid reflux burp to anyone raised on Cadbury's. At its best, British food is more than a match for its continental cousins. Think of crisp golden peas, herby sausage, sweet yellow custard, heavenly Sunday roads. So, with all the right ingredients at hand, why does British food have such as a bad reputation? There have there have been a couple of academic explanations given for the super poor quality of British food. There is an of reference hypothesis that British culinary traditions were actually quite strong, and the reputation of British food much more positive until the early to mid 20th century, when wartime austerity forced British household into decades of food rationing. From 1940 to 1954, the priority for British cooks was not leisure but survival, and so an entire generation adapted to powered egg, canned food, and one single type of crossbreed, which was only bearable with the assistance of condiment. All sense of this was wiped out in the space of a few decades, leaving our parents' generation drive in a sea of meat jelly, cauliflower cheese, and whatever satanic creation is supposed to be an alternative theory that has much more explanatory power than historical or material explanation. The British food is bad because British people are too repressed to cook food correctly. Most people around the world seem to think a typical English breakfast consists of egg, bacon, sausage, fried bread, mushroom, and baked beans, all washed down with a cup of coffee. Nowadays, however, a typical English breakfast is more likely to be a bowl of cereal, a slice of toast, orange juice, and a cup of tea. Many people, especially children in England, will eat a bowl of cereal. The traditional of English breakfast consists of egg, bacon, sausage, fried bread, baked bean, and mushroom. Even though not many people will eat these for breakfast today, it's always served in hotels and guest houses around Britain. There are several traditional English food.
Okay, Alfie, time is yours.
Okay, next. What British people eat? First, the full English breakfast or a fry-up, not to be confused with the equally delicious Scottish, Welsh, and Irish breakfast. The English fry-up consists of baked bacon, eggs, fried or scrambled, sausage, grilled tomato, and a fried mushroom, fried bread, toast, and of course a mug of tea. There are also many regional adaptations you can add to this gas-busting delight, such as black pudding, bubble and squeak, hash brown, and baked beans. Eat best eaten with either ketchup or brown sauce as an accompaniment, and it really sets you up for the whole day. People eat every day at the height of popularity in the Victorian era, but now it's more of treat, or a hangover cure. They must try on any visit. Second, pie and mash. Third pies are enjoyed across Great Britain and the world. Pie and mash is a very specific type of pie with a sweet base and cold water pastry lid that originated in London and could be found in pie and ale shops across in the East End. Going hand in hand with jellied eels, an order of two pie and mash with liquor might confuse many, but they were part of the standard diet for Southeast London's working classes in the Victorian era and are still enjoyed today. The the small minced beef pies with a large amount of mash and a green parsley and possibly stewed ale water. Such sauces are an acquired taste, but a tradition that should be tried if you can find pie and mash shops south of the River Thames. The third is pot dick. Third, this is interestingly named pudding still bring a sneezer to every table. It's a popular British pudding that paper made with sweat, dried currants, and raisins. This warm dessert is best ordered with custard and, along with sticky toffee pudding, should be on everyone's list of things to try when touring England. Now, when it comes to its unusual name, the spot element simply refers to the fruit you'll see, and thankfully the dick is from the 19th century and was widely used instead of the word pudding. So, and next, what people drink, as well as large amount of hot drinks such as tea, coffee, and cocoa. British people, especially children, drink squash and brand name soft drinks. They also expect in be able to drink water straight from the tap. Before the 1960s, wine and drank only by the higher social classes and was associated in most people's mind with expensive restaurant. Since that time, it has increased enormously in popularity. Beer is still the most popular alcoholic drink. The most popular pub beer is bitter, which is drought, has no gas in it, and unconventionally as all British beers. Drunk at room temperature, a sweeter drinker version of bitter is mild. These beers have a comparatively low alcoholic content. This is one reason why people are able to drink so much of them. Eating out, although is far although is far less unusual than it used to be. Going to the restaurants is still comparatively rare even for most British people. Eating places which serve British food are used only for more everyday purposes. Apart from pubs, there are two types, both of which are comparatively cheap. Fast food outlets are now common in Britain that they are in most other countries. Cynics might claim this is because the British have no sense of taste.
Okay, next is alcohol. The attitude to alcohol in Britain is ambivalent. On the one hand, it is accepted and welcome as an integral part of British culture. The local pub plays an important role in almost every neighborhood and pubs. It should be noted are predominantly for the drinking of beers and spirits. The nearest pub is commonly referred to as the local, and people who go there often are known as regulars. On the other hand, The Puritan tradition has led to the with the spread view that drinking is something potentially dangerous which should therefore be restricted. In terms of but who can do it and where it can be done, most people, including regular drinkers, consider that it will be wrong to give a child even half a glass of beer. When in 1993, research was published showing that nearly 70% of 15 years old children in the country drank some alcohol in a average week. It was generally agreed that this was a serious social problem. People cannot be served in pubs until the age of 18 and they are not even allowed inside one unless it has a special children's certificate until they are 14. For most of the 20th century, pubs operated under strict laws which limited their opening hours. These have recently been relaxed. And moreover, this lessening of the negative attitude to alcohol has been balanced by increasing concern about its impact on health and safety. There are government sponsored guidelines which state the maximum amount of alcohol is it's advisable for people to drink in a week without endangering their health. Nevertheless, alcohol, especially beer, is an important part of of the lives of many people. Next, pubs. The British pub, or short of public house, is unique. Without pubs, Britain will be a less sociable country. The pub is the only indoor place where the average person can comfortably meet others, even strangers, and get into prolonged conversation with them. In pubs, like fast food, a restaurant are classless. A pub with 40 customers in it is nearly always much noisier than a cafe or restaurant with the same number of people in it. As with so many other aspects of British life, pubs have become a bit less distinctive in the last few decades. They use us they used to serve almost nothing but beer and spirits. At one time, it was unusual for women to go to pubs. These days, only a few pubs exist where it is surprising for a woman to walk in. Nevertheless, pubs have retained their special character. One of their notable aspects is that there is no waiter service. If you want something, you have to go and ask for it at the bar. This may not seem very welcoming and a strange way of making people feel comfortable and relaxed, but to British people, it is precisely this. The home from home atmosphere is enhanced by the relationship between customer and those who work in pubs. Another notable aspect of pubs, they appeal to the idea of tradition. For example, each has its own name, proclaimed on a sign hanging outside, always with old-fashioned association. So thank you. Maybe that's from our. Uh, uh, Sorry for our mistake and thank you.